Hello and welcome to Atomic Facepalm. I am Chris, and today in Heart Attack we're going to review the Razer Ornata Mecha-Membrane keyboard. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you could hit subscribe, that would be great. We would love that. You can always leave a comment as well. Let us know what you think of keyboards such as this one. So jumping right into it, this is the Razer Chroma Mecha-Membrane keyboard. One of the first of its kind, if I'm not mistaken. So this is $99 on Razer's homepage. However, you can go to Amazon and get it for like 89 bucks right now, so a little bit cheaper. You can also get the Razer Ornata Expert. However, that one doesn't have the Chroma ability. And you'll see very shortly the Chroma ability is really damn cool. So the Expert is like 10 bucks cheaper. I would say it's money well spent. Get the Chroma and play with a bazillion different lights. So as you may or may not know, mechanical keyboards use mechanical switches, which unlike membrane keyboards, they have a little spring, a switch. You press them down, you get that tactile feedback depending on the switch that you're going for. Where membrane keyboards use a little rubber domed cap. And they're traditionally cheaper, not cheaper in the sense that they're less quality, sometimes that's the case. But you can mass produce them and manufacture them for cheap. So you probably at your office or wherever you will see a membrane keyboard. They're actually really quiet too, as are chiclet keyboards. This, however, is a really cool combination of those two technologies put into one. Why would you want a mechanical keyboard to begin with? Well, mechanical keyboards are typically really good for gaming, or they're really good for typing. Typists love certain switches because of how much travel they have and how much bump you get when you press them. And gamers like mechanical keyboards because you get a lot more feedback. And depending on your switch again, such as an MX Cherry Speed switch, for example, it doesn't take much to press them, and you get very accurate keystrokes. So Razer said, what the heck, guys? We're going to go ahead and do the best of both worlds. We're going to give you both right here in one keyboard. So how is it? Let's find out. The Mecha-Membrane technology, really what it is they put domes underneath all these keys here, little rubber domes like you normally would, and then they put a mechanical switch on top. So you have the mechanical switch here, and then you have the rubber dome in the bottom. You press down, and all of it goes up and down together in one nice combination. That's really the technology in a nutshell. It's a little bit more complex than that, but that's the overview. A lot of people I have seen, for some reason, complain about Razer on the forums, and I'm not exactly sure why, although I think I do, now that I mention it. I think it's because when you have a big company like Razer, or even like a Corsair, or any of those larger manufacturers, you have a vocal minority, which means that anyone that buys a product is more apt to complain about it than they are to sing its praises. With a keyboard like this, and with a lot of Razer products, I feel like a lot of them get unfairly blamed for just traditional errors. So anytime you make millions and millions of products, hey, it's just going to happen sometimes that maybe if you're going to be defective. I will say, I am a Razer fan. We bought this with our own money. This was not provided. We do have a lot of Razer products in the house, but that's by choice, not because we were sponsored by the manufacturer in any way. So for example, I had the Black Widow Ultimate for something like 7 years. I recently went to a different keyboard just because I was looking for something for a change. We actually have two of these keyboards in the residence, and kind of like companies like Tesla, Razer is not afraid to innovate even in the face of opposition. And I really appreciate that. I think a product like this, where other manufacturers would be hesitant to try it because, well, there's not really been a demand for it, it's a risk. And I applaud Razer for taking risks. Sometimes they have products that fall flat, and you know what? That's great. They went and they tried it. So I think for that reason, I love the unsolicited change they provide. They're not the only company to do that. But again, I want to just reinforce the fact that you might hear, oh, Razer products, they're no good. No, they're great. You just have those people, I think, that are, justifiably frustrated when you get a product that doesn't work, and they go and they post angrily. And that's fine. But I will say, in my experience, I've had Razer products for, 10 years, and I've never had one go bad. The only thing I had to do was I had a mouse, and I had to clean it. What do I think of this keyboard? I've had some time to play with it. played some first-person shooters. I played Painkiller. I've seen Bree play Overwatch with it. So here's the verdicts. Pluses, very affordable. $100, sub $100 for a high-quality keyboard is a bargain. It's well built. It's heavy. It's made out of a pretty high-density plastic. A nice braided cord here. The keys are kind of like this rubberized surface. This is a nice, solid, well-built keyboard. I mean, I wouldn't drop it if you can avoid it, but it feels like it's well put together. It's clicky, so clicky, and I realize that it's subjective. For me, it's a big plus. I love that sound. And actually, why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and test the sound so you can hear what it is. See? Nice, right? Nice and clicky, sounds like a normal mechanical keyboard, a lot of feedback, good stuff. Chroma is awesome. Now Chroma comes with pretty much a lot of Razer products. So if you do happen to I guess you could open other Razer products. If you happen to own other Razer products, a lot of them pair up. What's cool about this one with Chroma is if you're playing a game like Overwatch or other supported games, they actually have preset color profiles that react to whatever you're doing on screen. And it can even be a certain character you're playing. It will have different colors and it'll do different things. Chroma also has a lot of different options, which you're seeing on the screen right now. So let's go through a few of them. You basically have your standard effects. You have all sorts of other stuff that you're seeing. A lot of variety here, which I really enjoy. There's something like millions of combinations of lights. It's really, if you're a tinkerer, you could spend hours playing with this software. I would say it's at least on par with Corsair software, which I also reviewed with their K70 keyboard. So Razer and Corsair have done a good job with their lighting profiles. What's great about this particular keyboard is it solves that dilemma of, do I want to be a good typer or do I want to be a good gamer? This is a nice happy medium for both. Now it doesn't excel at either of those. I still prefer my K70 for first-person shooting, and I still prefer this one for typing, but honestly, if you want that perfect marriage of both where, well, not perfect, but you want a good balance, let's say. It feels great when you're typing, and it feels good when you're gaming. It also comes with a nice, comfy wrist rest. It has a nice soft cushion on it. It feels great. It doesn't make your hands get sweaty or anything, and it just affixes to the bottom via a little magnet, like that. Now the magnet's not very strong, and it does kind of fall off, and I would actually say, now that we're talking about that, let's go into a few of the minuses. So as I just talked about, this magnet for the wrist rest is a plus and a minus. The plus being it's comfy, and you get it for free, and it just pops right off, but that's also the minus. So when you're typing on this thing frantically, it tends to move around a little bit, and it doesn't quite stay where you want it to. I would have preferred a magnet and a plastic fastener option that would keep it tightly in place. There is no USB pass-through for this particular board, which again is subjective. Some people actually don't like that because then you need another USB cable to go into the back of your PC, and if you're running VR, if you use other devices, USB slots can still be at a premium. So I guess that's also a good thing too. If you're going that route, is you only need one USB cable. For me, I like to plug my mice into the side of my keyboard or flash drives or whatever, so not having a USB pass-through, kind of a bummer. But again, it's less than $100. This board uses mid-height keycaps, which is in between chiclet and standard size mechanical keyboards. I'm not a huge fan of it personally. I like a big, tall key for my keystrokes, but I was skeptical at first, but after using it, I didn't notice it too much, honestly. I was fine with it once, I don't know, 5 minutes into Painkiller was good. I was like, you know what, I'm okay with that, it's fine. So yeah, not for everybody since they are mid-sized, but again, some people might like that because if you tend to go to LAN parties or you travel, this is kind of easy to get in and out of a case. It's not gonna really catch on anything. The only bad news about that is, and this is more the Mecha-Membrane technology, is this kind of collects dust. We cleaned it before we did this video, and it was sort of hard to blow all that stuff out, so it does get a little dirty. So being a Mecha-Membrane keyboard, this thing is gonna feel weird at first. It really will. Your brain's gonna not quite know what to do with it, and your fingers gonna be like, what? But honestly, it doesn't take long to adapt, and once you do get used to it, it feels great. I did notice with this one that the Chroma software is good, but the way this lighting strip is set up, some of the colors bleed into the others, so they don't have individual lights, like my K70 keyboard from Corsair. This one is more, it's more of like a blend as far as the colors go. And each keycap has a really tiny number or letter or symbol, and it's kind of hard to see the keys when the lights are shining. You can see them, but it's not nearly as bright as some other options out there. Overall impressions, would I recommend it? Hell yes, I would. I really would, especially for the price. For under $100, this is a bargain, folks. Feels great, it's awesome for typing, it's awesome for gaming. I highly recommend it. Again, I don't want to come off as a Razer fanboy because I am an objective reviewer, I really am, but they make good products, and this is by far no exception. So, thumbs up, I would absolutely recommend it. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you would like to see more or hear more, you can always hit subscribe and you can leave a comment. So until next time, I'm Chris from Atomic Facepalm. Good luck and have fun.